Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to go over how to use Salt. I'm going to show you how to upload your own data. I'm also going to show you how to navigate Salt using some of the functions and everything that we're going to be doing throughout the semester. So with that being said, in our Blackboard, I went ahead and I posted a link, our Salt tool. So all you have to do is just click here. And we have a bunch of different data sets. So for example, if you're concerned with adoptions, the types of variables are numerical and categorical, and there's only one numerical and two categorical data sets. N equals 432, which is the sample size. And then it gives you a description and then some of the pedagogical notes, meaning, hey, if you're teaching a stats course, here's some of the things that you can do with these data sets. All right. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of them as we kind of scroll down and everything. All you got to do is click on like the select menu or the select button on the far right. So if I select this data set, I can be very specific with what variables I want to look at, or I could just say, hey, you know what, let's select them all. So if I select them all, it automatically incorporates everything into Salt. And then across the top, we can go ahead and do our own thing. So for example, I'm going to zoom in here for us. So let's say we wanted some descriptive statistics on the wind speed, so the wind gust. All right, so that's going to be column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the 7th column all the way over here. So I would just click on descriptive statistics. It gives me everything that I need. Okay. And then all I have to do is kind of just look for wind gust, and I find that the average or the mean wind gust was 13.973. Standard deviation for that specific sample is 4.3. Number of samples was 129. Min value Q1, median Q2, Q3, and your max value. Now, the thing that I don't know, and this is something that we'd have to explore in class, is are they using for our 5-number summary here? Are they using like the abbreviated 5-number summary, or are they doing it the traditional way, which is the modified box plot, which is what we've been doing the entire semester? So that could be like an exercise that we can kind of explore. But we'll worry about that later. If you want to, you can go ahead and you can click on this, and this kind of I don't even know what that did. What did that do? Oh, it got rid of the thing on the side over here. My bad. I never even knew that thing existed. So how about that? I'm learning something every day. Now, these are the summary tables for all the numerical variables. What about the categorical variables? Well, they're all down here. All right. So whatever these data values represent, that's what it is. And you can just kind of scroll down and stuff like that. That's fine. Let's say you wanted to look at some charts or something like that. So we can build a histogram. We can build a box plot. We can build dot plot, scatter plots, bar chart, pie chart, probability plot, which is what we're going to be looking at very soon. They're called a QQ plot. But let's just go ahead and let's look at, let's look at a dot plot here. And the variable that we want, let's go back to wind gust. So there is our dot plot for the wind gust. We can also do a box plot for the wind gust, and we can group them in whatever way we want. So let's say we want the wind gust on a very hot temperature day. And there you go. Doesn't exactly look the best. This is why you explore data. But it is what it is. Let's see. Can we go back here? We could do a histogram if we wanted to. So let's see here. What would be a good one for a histogram? I guess we could do wind gust again. So here's our histogram right here. And we could be more specific with this. For example, our bin in class width. So we can change this to say, it's not going to really work with me too much. At least I don't think so. We'll just leave it at 0. Oh. All right, I did something here. That's okay. You get the point though. Okay. So we can easily look at descriptive statistics. We can look at charts and graphs very quickly. We can even do a scatter plot if we want to see if there's a relationship between the wind gust and the temperature of the day. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I meant pressure, not temperature. Pressure of the day. We can figure out, is there a regression line? Since we just started studying this, this kind of looks like it may be negatively trend, but to be honest with you, look at all these data values. They're kind of like all over the place. It doesn't even seem like there's a pattern here. So I would expect the R value to be relatively close to 0. It could be like 0.3 or 0.4. So let's see if we could scroll down here. It's going to let me. There we go. And look at our correlation, negative 0.33. This is exactly what I said. So would I consider there to be a correlation between the wind gust and the minimum pressure? Absolutely not. I would say no. There's barely any. I mean, could you make an argument? Maybe, but I'm going to say no, not at all. Okay. So this is how we use SALT if we use their data, but let's say we have our own data. Okay. So if we go back here to SALT at the very beginning here, notice it says upload CSV. So what we're going to have to do first is we're going to have to get our own data. So I have a bunch of data values, data sets over here. So let's go ahead and let's just look at foot and height. We'll see what that looks like. All right, so here we go. So we have 41 data values. We have, let's see here, sex, age, foot length, shoe print, shoe size, height, all this stuff. Now, we want to take this data and we want to bring it into SALT. The only way to do that is create a comma-separated value. So what we do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to save a new copy. I'm going to save this to our desktop, so it's really easy for me to find. Okay. And down here where it says Save File Type As, we're going to click on that because right now it says Excel Workbook. We're going to go all the way down here to where it says CSV, comma, delimited. So click on that. And then let me see, make sure it's on the desktop. We're on the desktop. We're good. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Just click OK if that happens. Now, I'm going to go ahead and upload that file that I just saved. So we're going to click on upload. It's going to be a raw data set. Okay. Notice frequency table. We don't have that, nor do we have a two-way contingency table. And it kind of gives you an idea of what those look like. A frequency table, we're familiar with that, is a one categorical variable. And then the two-way, we're kind of familiar with that. We've seen a little bit of that in chapter 3, section 1. And that is a two-way categorical variable. The example we looked at for that would have been the clothing styles for home, garden, and I forget what the other category was for New York and California. But we're going to do just unsummarized observations, raw data set. So we're going to click on upload. I'm going to click on desktop. And right here is that, oh, no, hold on. Let me make sure. Let me kind of scroll this out here a little bit. There we go. So this is the one we want right here. All right. So hopefully it works. Click open, select all my values that I want. Notice everything's numerical except one data value. Select it, and there we go. Now we have our data set in there. Just make sure you can scroll down to make sure everything's in there. All right. And from here, descriptive statistics. We can look at, is there a relationship between the height of someone and their foot length? Notice here, we kind of got an upward trend. That's looking pretty good. I would say, yeah, there may be a correlation here. So let's go ahead and let's see what the R value is. R value is 0.8. That looks pretty good to me. We also know the slope and the intercept to our regression line. And we're going to be doing a lot of other things later on. So like distribution calculators for the normal distribution, the binomial, the T, the F, the chi-square. And yes, these do change as you are looking at them. So like I said, we're going to be doing that later. We could do sampling. All right. So we can sample, let's say, foot length. And what we're interested in is we want number of samples, 100, and the sample size is 6. So this is kind of neat. You know what? Let's go down to this. We're going to go down to 10. So what's going to happen here is this. All right. I went 10 samples, and each sample size that I want is going to contain 6 values. So I go ahead and generate some samples, and this is what you come up with. All right. Now, let's see what happens when I go from 10 to 1,000. Uh-oh. That's looking pretty nice now. That kind of looks like something we're familiar with. Well, let me go up to 10,000. Yeah, let's go 10,000 here. And would you look at that? It's starting to really take on that bell-shaped curve. So we're going to look at stuff like this later. Inferential statistics, we're totally going to do a ton of this stuff. And then we have regression as well. So we could do foot length and let's do age. So once again, we can see right here what's happening. Confidence bands, if we needed them, or regression line, we can click on that. So there's a lot of things you can do with SALT. As we progress through the semester, I'm going to be using examples that incorporate this so you can see it. But basically, this is nothing, or I'm sorry, it's exactly like Netflix versus Hulu versus, what's the other one? Disney Plus, I don't know. They all do the same thing. You're just going to know where to click. In other words, SALT, the real fancy ones, like SPSS, all right, which is a data analysis and statistics services. Even R, okay, R is another very fancy one where if I can click on some images here, notice on the far right side of the screen, they all do the same thing. The question becomes, do you know where to click? That's it, all right? And with that being said, I'm going to stop this video. This is kind of like your crash course. The next video I'm going to do would be Excel, and I'm going to show you how to do the same exact stuff in Excel. Excel, though, is more of a spreadsheet. It's not statistical software package, so there's a little bit more going on.